this is Liz. Welcome to my little urban homestead and welcome to Fabric Friday. I think another quilt, and I've been through my stash and I've got this panel that I bought possibly 2 years ago, and I thought that would make a nice centre of a quilt. And that's probably why I bought it in the first place. And I think I'm going to make it attic window style quilt as you go. So I'll bring you along for all of it. First of all, I'm going to give it a good iron and then measure it and cut it. So I've given it a good press and now I'm going to measure it, and I'm going to do top, middle and bottom, and that should help me, and that's 41 inches. 41 inches. It's a bit over that. I just want to make sure that I'm not going to cut it at a size that it isn't, because obviously this is taken off the bolted fabric, so this should be the same size all the way down, and it is 44 inches. So now I've got to work out how many windows I want. So I'll have a think about that and work it all out. This is my working out. It's 41 inches by 44, so I've done a little drawing showing that. The drop of it is going to be cut at 42 inches. That will give me 4 windows at 10.5 inches each. The width is going to be cut down to 40 inches, and that will give me 5 windows at 8 inches each. Ignore this bottom bit because it's wrong. I put in a fifth line and there isn't one. I've worked out some things, so now I'm going to have to go back over this. I am going to need black sashing down the middle, so that's 1 on each edge as well, and 1 on top and bottom. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 strips of black sashing, and the strips I'm referring to is width of fabric, and I'm going to do them 1 inch wide. The brown strips, which is going to be the sides, I'm going to need 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 brown strips, and I've put 4 there, so I'll alter that to 5 because I'm having 5 windows across. And the white strips, 1, 2, 3, 4, and because I'm going to be snowballing them to make this corner, I want to do an extra one, so that'll be 5 strips of the white. Now I've got 6 down, but it doesn't matter. And I'm doing both of those at 2.5 inches wide. I probably will actually cut an extra strip because I can always put it up and use it for binding at a later date. But that's what I need, and I've worked out here the finished size of each of the windows before I put the black strip on the side and the bottom. But that's me working out so far. I'll keep coming back to this and altering it as necessary, looking at it again. But that's how it is at the moment. So I'll get on with cutting everything out now. I just thought I'd show you this for how I've cut out, because I know I need 10.5-inch strips for the drop. I've cut one and I thought I'd bring you along. I have my ruler, my big square ruler, on the 10.5 line. I have got this really long combo ruler, which is brilliant. I'm so glad I bought it. I can butt that up against it, hold it down, put a weight on it and my hand, move my square ruler out of the way, and I know that that piece is exactly 10.5 inches, and cut, and there it is. And that's how I'm getting it accurate. This double ruler method is very good. I've cut the panel up, and this is the top row, and there's going to be 5 windows across and then 4 windows down. That's my plan anyway. What I've done is these other groups, because I'm going to work on row 1 first of all. This will be row 2, and there's 2 pins in it holding them all together. 3 pins in the next lot, and then 4, yeah, there's 4 in that last one. So the amount of pins tell me which row they're from, and because there's more than one piece of fabric, I know it's that whole row. Now we go on to the windows themselves. I've done a similar thing. The first one here has no pins in it. The second one has got 1, and then 2, 3, and then I put a cross out of pins on the last one. So what I'm going to do now, because these are 8 inches widthwise, I'm going to sew on the bottom of it 2.5 inch width, 2.5 inch width and 8 inches in length on all these. I'm going to work and do just one row, or I'm going to get confused because these are very similar. It would be easier to muddle them up. I mean, that one and that one look very similar. So I'll sew a white piece, 8-inch white piece to the bottom of all of these, if I can get Mason off my seat. I have sewn now the piece of white to the bottom of each one. Now I want to sew a side to each one, but I've got to decide which brown to use. There's 3 I've got a choice of here. So that's how it'll be with black on. I think this one, although the wood does look nice, I think it's going to detract from the picture. I could quilt in wood knots. I think I will use this one. So that's what I do when I audition things, and then see how I go from there. So I want strips that are going to be 2.5 inches by 12.5 inches. So I'm going to cut the brown strips out now. This is the effect we're going for, and let's move them out of the way. And to achieve it, we've got our 12.5 inch strip, a 2.5 inch square. Now you can draw a line corner to corner or press it in, whichever you want, or just wing it and go for it. But if you get your window, just check that where you want it to go is there. So what I do is just put them roughly there and then pin. Then I know that's the direction I've got to sew. So that's how we achieve that effect. Now I've snowballed the corners, I've pressed them down, we just cut off that, lay it by the side and then sew it down on each of them. So on the left hand side of each one they'll get one of these. So I'll do that now. As you can see now, they're stitched on. Yes, you can see the seams through this white fabric, but once it's put with the backing and the wadding batting in it and quilted on, you'll hardly notice that at all. All I've got to do now is sew a strip in there, which should be 12.5 inches. So I'm going to put a strip on the right side of every block and then sew the row together. This is the first row of our windows. So yeah, how I press my seams is I've tried to make them so that they don't go behind the white, they go behind the picture, the brown or the black, and I've just pressed them down to make them more flat. So I've pressed my seams to the side and not open. So I shall get on with the rest of it, sew it together and bring it back and show you what I do next. So see you next week. Bye.